audio dulu. Udah boleh? Sorry, gue main mute karena kan. Habis sih. आवाज आ रही है उसमें? हेलो। हेलो। हेलो।
Hello, good afternoon. Deepa, am I audible?
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So the speaker has joined or no?
Yes, sir. She is, after a few minutes, she will join.
Oh, okay. ठीक है.
Just a
Thank you.
minute.
Hello, Deepa ji, how are you?
Hello, ma'am. I'm fine, and you?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. I'm just sharing your screen.
Just give me a second, huh? Okay, just a second. Yes, Deepa ji, can we start?
Yes, ma'am. You can start. Yes. I'm audible also.
Yes, you're audible, Deepa. Is
Okay,
my
okay,
voice
fine.
clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we start, ma'am?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon, all of you. I am Dr. Deepa Singhal. As a librarian in Shri Venkateshwara College, Delhi University. Welcome to the second webinar of Shri Venkateshwara College Library on the ethics, integrity and philosophy of research. Today we have a very eminent speaker, Dr. Priya Rai, who is presently working as a librarian in National Law University, Delhi. Welcome, ma'am. I am grateful to our principal, Professor K.C. Singh, who encouraged and permitted me to organize this webinar. Now I request Professor Swan Singh sir to deliver the welcome address. He is IQAC coordinator. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Deepa. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, hello, yeah, am I audible, Deepa ji?
Yes, sir, you are. You are audible,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Shri Venkateshwara College, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm really thankful to Dr. Priya Rai, Librarian, National Law University, for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion. She has agreed to deliver her talk on a very important topic. I also congratulate Dr. Nimisha Sinha, Criteria 4 coordinator, and her team, and the librarian, Dr. Deepa Singhal, to organize such events. And we hope that we will arrange many more such events through IQAC in future for the benefit of the participants. So once again, I welcome Dr. Priya Rai to Shri Venkateshwara College in online mode. Maybe we will invite you soon in offline mode as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your such a great welcome address. Thank you, sir. Now, without wasting the time, I would like to invite today's speaker, Dr. Priya Rai, for her presentation. Dr. Rai is presently working as a librarian in Justice T.P.S. Chawla Library at the National Law University, Delhi, a renowned law university in India. She has vast experience serving many primary universities and research institutes. Immediately past, she worked with the Indian Law Institute and Group Gobind Singh Indraprastha University. Dr. Rai has more than 20 years of professional working experience with renowned academic and research institutes. She has sound of combination of academic and professional qualification. She holds PhD in Library and Information Science from Banasthali University, Rajasthan, and she has LLM, LLB, and LLM in Intellectual Property Rights from Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi. She has been invited to deliver invited talks from various educational and research institutes in national and international level. She has delivered more than 35 lectures on vast areas like copyright laws, digital rights management, intellectual property rights, plagiarism, open access, movement, and many more. Besides this, she has contributed 11 books on various themes and subject areas related to library and information science. She has credit to publish more than 40 research papers in journals, edited books, and conference proceedings. She is president of the Association of Indian Law Libraries and associated with several professional bodies of library association in India. Dr. Rai is a Commonwealth Fellow with the Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, University of London. Dr. Rai was confirmed visiting fellow fellowship in law librarianship by the Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, the University of London in 2013. 2013, she was invited as research fellow at University of Dessau, Germany, for addressing law faculty and students at Germany in 2014. Now I invited to Dr. Priya Rai. Before inviting her, I request to all participants, if you have any question from our today's speaker, please write in the chat box or ask end of the presentation. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Deepa ji, for such a lovely introduction. And I would like to thank Swan Singh sir, Nimisha Sinha madam, Deepa Sehgal ji, and all the participants who have joined today on the very important topic. Well, Deepa has followed me a lot and said, ma'am, you have to deliver a lecture on this topic. So this topic is really very close to me as well, because I am teaching this also for my PhD candidates at the university. So thank you everyone. Thank you Venkateshwara College, the principal sir, for the warm gesture and inviting me through online mode. I would love to come physically as well to visit the college and see the library and look at the wonderful infrastructure, and had a great time with the students and the faculty members. But this time we are meeting online. This is more or less also better. Thank you everyone. So today, let me start my presentation. I just need 1 second from you so that I can share my presentation. Please give me the rights to share the presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just a minute.
Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Well, friends, colleagues, students, the topic which is given to me today, and we are going to have a discussion on this, is ethic, integrity, philosophy of research. Well, this is really very important topic. I'm saying it is important because there are various reasons behind it. Because whatever we do as an academicians, we all are working in academic ecosphere. Whatever we are doing, we are researching, we are writing an articles, we are writing piece of work, is revolves around all these three things which is written here. You can see in the screen is ethic, integrity, and philosophy of research. So today we'll discuss and we'll learn basically the basic parameters which are really very important for every researchers to have, and basically I can rather say to imbibe inside you, so that you, whenever you start your research work, at what stage you start your research work, these three things should be there inherently should be there. And always think before writing, you start before writing, always think about these three things, which is ethic, integrity, and research, the way of research which we conduct. So we all know that we all are in an era where advancement of technology has offered extensive opportunities for the research community. And even after COVID, we all have seen that how the technological transformation has really, saved the academician's life. It has given us the, breath to live in a, we were all living in a rooms. So it has given us the ample space to continue with our research and academic endeavors. But this extending ranging of opportunity also raises various new concerns and challenges with respect to, we can rather say, and definitely accountability and credibility of scholarly communication. So this is the two things which is really very important for the researchers. The accountability, if as a researchers, whenever we start our research, I say this is not compulsory. This is not in the chapter. This is not what you have to learn, but you have to inherit it. You have to imbibe it. You have to keep these things in the subconscious of your mind whenever you start your research work, is the credibility and accountability. The people who know these two things, those who when they start their research and they keep the peace line, or they keep these two things always in the conscience when they start researching, they will never get fail, and they will never get kind of issues in the later part of their research journey. So I say that this is really very important for every researchers, whether it's me, you, PG student, UG student, faculty member, whosoever the person is, to imbibe with this accountability and credibility. And this is whole which we are going to discuss today about, that how to maintain this credibility and this integrity while we are doing our research work. So we all know that there are abundance of information available, information explosion, availability of new techniques, tools, so many things are there. So which we can rather say that there are so many things which are there, and but the research methodology is quite often lead the researchers sometimes in the confusion mode. Why this confusion occurs? Because the abundance of information puts us sometimes in a way of state where we got confused, like which sources, which informations are authentic. Because I have said this word accountability. So which sources are authentic, which sources are not authentic, what we should do, what we should not do. Sometimes we are innocently do not know many things. So that is why these kind of programs has been designed to have an overview about. So I was talking about the abundance of information explosion, how this information's new techniques are there. These techniques helping us for creating the content. We all are now, I was not born in this era, but I can rather say the new students, the new generation, you all are born in the era of ChatGPT. So ChatGPT gives, or many other AI tools which are similar to ChatGPT. I was always talk with my vice chancellor regarding these AI tools, and whenever we have this kind of deliberations and discussion with reference to writing tools, he says that these tools are not bad. We should not treat them as the enemy of academic research and writing, but rather we should treat it, and we should use it in such a way that it will not become the hindrance of the hindrance of writing, but it should help us. It should give us the, if we take it as a path finder, path provider ways, then it is more we are in a more comfortable zones. And don't think in your mind, if these tools has been generated detections of content, for whether you have copied directly this content from this tool, or you have done something creative from your own self, will be easily will be detected. So there are various ways, both incoming and outgoing, both the ways are there, tools are there, and detection of the tool is there. So nobody is saying to you that as a law school, I'm sitting in one of the great law school, we don't say here the student don't use this tool, but we say that use them wisely, use them, take the content of it as a path finder, path providers, not to exactly copying and pasting the content from these resources. Well, various plagiarism tools have come up which automatically detect this information. So this academic honesty and this academic moral and ethical dimensions, I more of the less I say it is more of ethical and moral dimensions of the part. Just a second. So when we talk about the philosophy, so ethics are what we think is moral and right. Peter Stewart, he's an American lawyer and judge, and he served the Association of Justice in United States Supreme Court from 1958 to 1981. What he said is really very right, that ethics are what we think is moral and right. Ethic is a big part of the research of any researcher work, as it could be different from the succeeding and the failing. So ethic is knowing the difference between what you have right to do and what is right to do. So these difference, if you come to you will be able to understand, then the things are really things will go really very easy for a researchers to make the things. So we can also say with this concept that use ethical concept and the principle of criticize, evaluate, propose, and interpret the information which you have gathered for further presentation. So another way of defining ethical focus is on the disciplinary, that the study standard of conduct. So such as philosophy, theology, law, psychology, and sociology. So there are various things. So for example, I will give you one example related to the medical ethics. So it is sometimes we study ethical standards in the medicine. So or one may also define ethics as a method, process, perspective for deciding how to act, for analyzing a complex problems and the issues. And for instance, if we take we consider complex issues like global warming. So one may take the economic, ecological, political, ethical perspective. So all the perspectives are there in this one research word which I have shared with you. So this time we can take it as a problem. So we can take global warming in the perspective of economic, ecology, political science, or ethical concern of of the part of this particular word. So we can also say that economic, if we take it as an economical perspective, then we might examine the cost benefit. If we take the political, then what are the political constraints, what are the political new initiatives are giving. And if we talk about the ethical, then we will discuss about ethical values and principle at stake with reference to the environmental issues. So this is how we think of a particular word when we take it for a research, how we have to deal with it. So but the two things which we have keep in our mind to maintain the integrity in the research is ethic and
Priya
moral.
ma'am, Dr. Priya,
Yes,
hello.
ma'am. Hanji,
Sorry for the interruption. Your voice is break.
voice is not clear. Is it clear now?
Hello.
My voice is clear now.
Yeah, it's a clear. Yes, ma'am.
Clear
Yes,
now?
ma'am. It's a clear now.
Okay, fine. Please
Yes,
let me
yes,
know.
ma'am. Yes.
Okay, please let me know when you will find that there is some problem, because network is another
Okay, ma'am.
issue.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
So the point is that we have to think about the ethics and morality side by side when we talk about the research. So when we talk about research ethics governs the standard of conduct of researchers. So it is important to adhere to ethical principle in order to protect the dignity, right, and welfare of research participants. So this is another aspect of research. It is whenever we are doing our research, it is not only the plagiarism part we can think of, but when we specifically when we are doing our empirical research, when we are doing research, scientific research, whenever we are doing in social science some sort of empirical research, we are going to interview some kind of vulnerable group. The important aspect is that we should keep in our mind that we should not harm the dignity, the rights, and the welfare of the people of or whatever the subject we are dealing with. So there are certain things in research ethics which we have to keep in our mind whenever we are doing some kind of scientific research as well as some kind of empirical research on a particular topic. So there are several reasons why it is important to adhere the ethical norms in a research. First norm, if we talk about the first norm, promotes aim of the research. So we should have keep in mind why we are going to do this research, such as knowledge, for gaining knowledge, for gaining truth, for avoidance of error. I'll just give you an example. Prohibitions against fabrication, falsification, misrepresentation of data promotes the truth of minimum error. So this is really very important to keep in our mind the reasons behind the research. We take the research topic, we start working on it, and never thought that why we have chosen this topic. There is nothing in our subconsciousness, in our mind, in our thought that why I have chosen this topic. Some people choose a topic because there are huge number of content is available, so it is easy for them to research. But we should also keep in our mind the reasons behind, the aim behind of a particular topic research. Then only we will be able to give justification to that particular research what we are doing. Second, since research often involves a great deal of corporations and coordination among many different peoples in different disciplines and institutions, so ethical standard promotes the value that are essential to collaborate work such as truth, accountability, mutual respect, and fairness. So these are the four pillars, basic pillars of research ethics. Like, the researcher is fully accountable. He should keep in her mind that whatever research and whatever we are, but what is research? Basically, what we give to the society about a certain concept. We do a lot of hard work and then submit our findings in the terms that this is what is happening in the society, whether it is a medicinal or scientific or it's a social sciences. Scientific research, the accountability is more high because there are various other concerns, issues surrounded with it. So these 3-4 points are really very important, such as truth, accountability, mutual respect, and fairness. I'll just go in the next slide how it is really very important. I can say that many ethical norms in research, such as guidelines for authorship, copyright, patent policies, data sharing policies, confidentiality rules, peer reviews, various things designed to protect intellectual property interest while encouraging collaborations. So these all are really involved with this thought, the value, that essence, to collaborate the work. So third important aspect is ethical norm. It helps to ensure that researcher can hold accountable to the public. So whatever we are doing our research, now most of the research which is public research are, this is really very important that this research should be made public must be made public. So bigger research projects are available in public domain, so that larger audience should know what is going on in a particular topic and what is the outcome of that particular research works. That is why UGC has come up with Shod Ganga, with the projects of opening up the PhD thesis to the all the viewers at a large and open access platform, so that people should know that this is the topic of research and this is the outcome of the research. This is what is happening in the society. Earlier, when I was doing my MPhil PhD, it was really very tough. Everything was in a closed domain. People were not aware. It was very difficult to get the thesis of the outcomes of a particular work of a particular person. So now to give more more responsibility on the shoulders, these initiatives has been taken up. So the third is ethical norms, the accountability of the public, which I am talking. So various policies, misconduct policies are conflict of interest, human subject protections, animal care and use are necessary in order to make sure that the researchers who are founded by public money can held accountable to the public. Fourth ethical norm in research also help to build public support. for the researchers. So people will come to know that this particular research has come up with this kind of guidelines or this kind of conclusion which is good for the society. So people are more inclined towards citing the project, and it will be more, get more integrity and more authenticity. And final, many norms of research promote variety of other, important moral and social values such as social responsibility, human rights, animal welfare, compliance with the laws. This is really very important, and public health and safety. So specifically, those who are doing the scientific research, they should adhere some measures of public health and safety. And ethical lapses in the research can significantly harm human, animal, subjects, students, and the public. So this is what the ethical talks about. The two things which go simultaneously to each other is ethics, and integrity. So what we have discussed about the ethics, now we'll discuss about integrity. What is the difference? So academic integrity is a moral code of academia. It involves using, generating, and communicating information in an ethical, honest, and responsible manner. So integrity is basically, we can say, it is an interdisciplinary concept that provides the foundation of every aspect and level of the education. So how it is interdisciplinary, the term evokes strong emotions to teachers, researchers, and the student, not least because it is usually associated with various kinds of behaviors and the manners. So when we can talk about the academic integrity, we discuss, or we tend to discuss, or we tend to revolve around cheating, plagiarism. So ethic was not related to that. Integrity is related to the ethic, was related to your moral conscience. How you are responsible, you're responsible to certain rules and regulations, a certain kind of things towards certain people. But when we talk about the integrity, it more involved towards more honest writing, research writing, which could be plagiarism, cheating, dishonesty, fraud, and other kind of malpractices, and how best to prevent these behaviors. So a more productive approach entails, basically it entails a focus on promoting the positive values of honesty, trust, fairness, respect, responsibility, and courage as we can say that as a driver of ethical academic practice. So if we summarize it, we can say that academic integrity is much more than the research issue. It requires comments from all stakeholders. Well, we can't say that this is all the students' responsibilities, just it's only on the shoulders of the students who are writing the projects and all, but it is more and more on the shoulders of everyone who are involved in research and writing, whether he's a teacher, whether he's a student, whether he's a researcher, a senior manager, policy maker, support staff, admin, whosoever it is. The integrity is really, really very important, because the content we are giving to the society, whether we are giving the society a plagiarized content or some kind of content which is well researched, and which is basically, we can say that, being provided by keeping in mind, or keeping in consideration the all norms. We are giving that work to the society, or we are just giving, copying, pasting, taking it somewhere else, AI generating and giving to society. So this is all the academic integrity refers to. Why research ethics and integrity is important? So this is also one of the important aspect, that why we should adhere these kind of integrity and ethical norms. So it reflects it is a reflection of respect for those who take part in the research. So whatever I produce and give to the society, I'll got that kind of respect. Some research are so good they got patented. Not every research got patented. What is the reason? The reason is behind the researchers keep in the mind that we should come up with some kind of novelty in the research. That is really very important. So second is to ensure no unreasonable, unsafe, or thoughtfulness demands that are made by the researchers. It ensures sufficient knowledge is shared by all. It imposes a common standard in all above respect. So these are kind of practices, I say. So we start doing it, but when we keep putting these things in our mind, they become the practice. So it becomes the norms as and expectations for research activity. So these are some of the fundamentals. But by the way, what is research? When we are talking so much about the research integrity, research ethics, research this, what is research? What do you perceive research as in your mind? Well, I perceive research as research. This is a two word. RE is a one word. Search is a one word. For me, research means by systematic investigation or to gain a new knowledge from already existing facts in terms of the social sciences. Well, in sciences we do some kind of experiments and some kind of new innovations. But when we talk about the social science perspective very precisely, we say that whatever is already existing in the society, we are just reviewing it or putting it in a new environment, thinking in it in a new way or new mode of in the new environment. Whatever was there in the primitive earlier time, like 20 years back, what has changed after 20 years with the same subject. So we are doing this kind of work in keeping the mind the current scenario of the society and just doing some kind of research and providing to the society like this was there in 20 years back and this is what is there in right now in our society. So basically research is questions in the mind: who, where, how, when, what. So research, we can say, or we can say research may be defined as a scientific understanding of existing knowledge and we can say driving a new knowledge to be applied for the betterment of the mankind. So this is what research for me. Someone said, very German philosopher, he said that research is what I am doing when I don't know what I am doing. So even when we start our research, we do not know that what we are doing. Like we have perception in our mind that what we have to do, but where this research will lead us to, we didn't know. We are innocent towards the result of the research. So basically, the search of truth and the fact. So it lies between the both the truth and the fact. The significant contribution of research deals with the progress of notion as well as the individual with commercial, social, and economical advantages. So research is to see what everyone else has seen and think, but nobody has thought. So various people who come, the Nobel Prize winner of one Albert Ghiorghi, he said this for the research. And another philosopher said that research comprises of the definition and redefining problems, formulating the hypothesis for suggested solutions, collection, organization, evaluation of data, making deductions, reaching conclusions, and further testing the conclusion whether they are fit into the formula of hypothesis or not. So this is what research is. It's again it's a not very complicated matter. It's a very simple way. Only the methods and the techniques we need to learn and keep in our mind the integrity and ethicity, so that we should not go any wrong direction. Our research should be in a very crisp and clear direction. So this is what we have to do. So these are some of the parameters of to conduct a research. First of all, we create
Dr. Priya,
yes.
Your voice is again breaking. Your voice is just again breaking.
Now it is clear.
No, ma'am, no.
Just a second. अब आवाज आ रही है ठीक?
Yes, ma'am.
दीपा जी?
Yes, ma'am.
आ रही है आपकी आवाज, बोलिए.
Fine. So conduct of research, थोड़ा सा कई बार स्क्रीन ना दूर हो जाता है, इस वजह से भी थोड़ा सा होता है।
जी वो नेटवर्क का व्यू का भी पूरा ब्रेक है मैम।
नहीं, हमारा नेटवर्क तो बहुत स्ट्रांग है, हमारे नेटवर्क में कभी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती। तो अब जब भी आप मेरी आवाज रुकेगी मुझे इमीडिएटली प्लीज बता दीजिएगा, सो
जी
दैट
जी
आई
जरूर।
जस्ट
थैंक यू
अब मैं अपना सिस्टम थोड़ा आगे पीछे कर लूंगी। So conduct of research, I was talking about that there are certain ways of conducting a research. I'll just go quickly because everybody knows it. First, we should have a research idea, a very good research idea, what we really propose to do. Then there is a systematic literature review. Formation of research problem is really very important. That what we are going to discuss. What is the point of doing that particular research? Then there are empirical research questions, research design. Then we have to plan how we are going to the research, what methodology we are going to adapt, whether we are going to do scientific research, empirical research, or what kind of research parameters. There again, there are a lot of see a lot of ways of conducting a research. Then data collection, the formulas of data collection, how we are going to collect the data online, offline, personal view, interview, various methods are there. Then analyzing of data, there are various tools available to analyze the data. SPSS is one of the tools, and various other tools available nowadays to analyze data. Answering the empirical question is really very important. The hypothesis which we have set, we have to just brief it, whether that hypothesis we have whether it come to positive or negative, theoretical representation of result, comparison with earlier result, and then conclusion. This is a simple formula, everybody knows it, how to do it. Then we can talk about the academic integrity. So according to me, basically academic integrity is the basic goals of any of the organizations to adhere with for their students and their faculty members. So there are basic pillars of academic integrity. First pillar is honesty, second pillar is trust, third pillar is fairness, fourth pillar is respect, and fifth pillar is responsibility, means technology. So if we talk about the first pillar, honesty, sincerity, that all pillars of academic integrity have some basics in the basic in honesty. So honesty individually take to fairly play with the research which they are doing. Then trust. It is also important that trust is established in a system where all members are doing their best, where structured policies are fair, and they are very well treated policies should be there. Then the third pillar is fairness. Fairness goes, hands on hand with trust. I can rather say it. Every individual should believe that they will be treated fairly and judged by some standards as all other communities. So this is really very important that fairness should be there. Best work comes out of a fair system. This is what means. Then the respect. This respect is really very important. Whomsoever we are, doing our research, we should respect with individual point of view, or whatever we are doing some doing. There are some vulnerable groups where people go and they do the survey. They should not, when they ask the questions, specifically some class of the society, some class of people in the society, they should not harm the sentiment of the people, so that they should not feel like they are, they should not feel bad. So this is really very important, that we should trust the individual whom we are surveying or we are doing research. And the fifth pillar, importantly, is responsibility, mean acknowledge your contributions, your accountability is really very important. From where whatever you have taken the content, whatever you have done, please acknowledge that person. There is nothing wrong in acknowledging any person's. If you have read anyone's article and you liked it, you have taken some of the point, please cite them. Don't be be confused in citing the other authors. Give them the acknowledgement. You will also get the acknowledgement. The second part is that the credibility of your work also increases. So this is some basic pillars which are really very important. So basic principles of research ethics are integrity, respect, rules, regulations, justice, dignity, confidentiality, competence, moral principle, ethical practice, value, privacy, honesty, beneficence, or autonomy, non-maleficence. So there are many things which I think you should think about it, whether how many out of this ethics, how many rules you have followed whenever you are doing your research. If I will say, if you follow 50% of the rules, I think your research is far behind than anybody else research which they are doing. So there is a framework for evaluating a research. So 3 ethical principles, which we call the Ballman report. So basically, it is being provided for finding the ethical principle, and it is created by National Commission for Protection of Human Subject in Biomedical and Behavioral Research, and basically it gives the guidelines for the protection of human subject of research, and it gives issued in 1979. Basically, it talks about the 3 things: respect the person, beneficence, and justice. What is this? Respect the person, beneficence, and justice. Respect the person. Respect, if we say that respect the person, that means respect the human dignity, respect the self-determination, and respect the full disclosure. So somebody is giving you the entire information about yourself, you should respect that person's disclosures also. Humanity means self, means you should respect the people whom you are researching. The second is the beneficence. Beneficence means one of the most, I can say that this is one of the most fundamental ethical principle in research, that is beneficence, which I can rather say is imposes a duty on a researcher. It's a duty on your shoulder to minimize harm and do not beneficence. The principle cover multiple dimensions, that is right to freedom from harm and discomfort, right to protection from exploitation, and we can say right to freedom from harm and discomfort, right to freedom from exploitation, and right to protection from the exploitation. These are the 3 broad things. I'll not go deep into it. If I'll go, it will take another 1 hour. The third one is also important, is justice. So what does justice mean? The third broad principle, basically it articulated about the right to fair treatment, and the right to privacy, and the right to privacy is another important aspect. So right to fair treatment, we can say that equitable distribution of benefits of the burden of the researcher. So we should we treat the things in a very fairly manner. Then right of privacy is really another very important aspect, which basically a researcher should ensure that the research is not intrusive in nature. It needs to be that participant privacy is maintained. That is also throughout the study. That is also one of the important aspects. So we'll go further. So ethical principle, I have just go fastly: honesty, objectivity, integrity. Then carefulness, openness, data share should be, if the conclusion of the reports should be, in public domain at the end. Transparency in the methods are important. Accountability is another aspect. Intellectual property is also considered, that we should not copy paste. We should honor the IPR rules, the copyright rules, which is being provided to us. Confidentiality is important to maintain. We can hide some of the identity of the people. Responsible publication, responsible monitoring of the content. Then respect our colleagues. Social responsibility is also to strive to promote social good and prevent for marginalized social norms. Non-discrimination This is also important, that we should not discriminate between sex, race, ethnicity, and other factors is important. Competence is another aspect. Then legality, we should know the rules and regulations, like how we are doing the conducting the research. If we are doing a scientific research, animal care is important. Human subject protection is also important. So the principle for governing research
Mute हो
in
जाएगी.
higher education is respect for
मैसेज कर दिया मैंने
anonymity and confidentiality. Beneficent to do some good, do not harm, and non-maleficent
मैसेज
means
कर
do
दिया
not
मैंने.
harm.
निकल के फोन
These are
करती हूँ.
some of the aspects. My voice is clear?
हाँ आते ही किया तो उठाया नहीं उन्होंने.
आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The other part is justice. I've explained. Fidelity is another aspect which goes hand in hand with honesty, integrity, and trust, and academic freedom. So these are some of the points. But we do have some general responsibility towards these participants, towards other researchers, and towards ourselves. So our responsibility towards participants we have learned, towards other researchers we have learned, but we have the responsibility of ourselves that we should not make any deleterious remarks whenever possible for anybody else. So we should remain in a very cool and calm manner. We should not be entrenched with some of the aspect of while doing the research. So strategically, scholarly publishing, think, check, submit,
Ma'am, your
promote,
voice is
and track.
again breaking.
फिर आई आवाज आई?
मैम वॉइस आ रही है बट ब्रेक हो रही है बहुत ज्यादा बीच में.
अभी भी ब्रेक हो रही है?
हाँ मैम दोबारा स्टार्ट हो गया ब्रेक होना.
अच्छा मैं काट के दोबारा से जुड़ूं क्या?
नहीं मैम शायद कुछ नेटवर्क का कुछ बीच में इशू आया है मे बी.
अब आई है आवाज?
कंटिन्यू. हाँ यस मैम राइट नाउ इट्स ओके.
ओके फाइन. जस्ट अ सेकंड, मैं कुछ इसको ऊंचा करती हूँ.
जी
जस्ट अ सेकंड. हाँ गिव मी अ सेकंड. Just a second, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Now voice is clear?
No, okay, ma'am. Fine.
Huh?
Fine, ma'am, fine.
Okay, fine. So, strategically, scholarly publishing, we should think what journals are the best for research. We should check the impact of while we are doing scholarly publishing. We should submit rewarding academic publishing, promote, and track. So I'll just go to the next one. So UGC has come up with lots and lots of regulation. I'll skip this first. Then another aspect is plagiarism and fostering academic integrity. I said that plagiarism, copying, pasting, cheating, they all are concerned with the academic integrity. Deepa, how much time I have?
As much you require, ma'am.
Up to 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So academic integrity, we all know it is I have already discussed with you, is the foundation of academic life. So we should also always keep in our mind about the whenever we are writing the content, the plagiarism is really very important, part. We can always keep in our mind that similarity should not be there. In any case, if similarity you will find, please check with the detection tool, so that you will at the right time you will be able to get rid of it. And please use legitimate internet sites from where the data you are copying. Credibility of content is really very important as far as the research is going on. So University Grants Commission, I think I know you all know about what is academic integrity and how you have to cope up with this. Yeah, I have already discussed that digital technology has come up. There are various ways that affect the research aptitude and research methodological approach. But yes, there are tools which are there to detect these kind of things. So don't think in your mind that you're not going to caught. Maybe you will not caught at this time, but in future aspects, after 10 years, after 20 years, whenever researchers come to me, I always say them, you want to get rid of it right now. You are not focusing about the similarity part right now, but think, you are a PhD candidate. Okay, you are LLM candidate, master's candidate. Later, after 20 years, this work which you are submitting to the university is going to be in an open access platform. And after 10 years, when you will be somewhere as a director or some managing editor or something like that, some senior professors, and somebody will come and say that, sir, this is your LLM dissertation, your master's dissertation, this is your PhD dissertation, and this is plagiarized. There's this much similarity is there, you have not taken care of this at that time, then you will be ashamed. So it's better to save at this moment, take more time, don't be in a hurry, better than shame in the later life. So it's better now, because earlier time it was not there, but now the tools are getting stronger and stronger tools are coming up to fetch. I don't know after 10 years or after 20 years who the robots going to check us, who's going to find us. Even our single word which will copy will be taken up by the robots and say, sir, this is what you have plagiarized, you will not get promotion. You have submitted your PhD and this much content was plagiarized in the PhD, you will not get, don't know. The technology is moving so fast, it's coming up so fast, you don't know after 10 or 20 years what is going to happen, and you will be in a top position at that time. So it's better to keep your mind very clear about what UGC is saying. UGC is saying for the promotion of academic integrity and prevention of plagiarism in higher education institution under this regulation. So I'll just rewrite, read it in front of you. I know all of you know it, but this is my duty because I am taking a class of research ethics and integrity. University Grant Commission appointed committee recommend doctoral candidates should require publish. The committee basically come up with some kind of objectives to create awareness. First is to create awareness about the responsible conduct of research thesis, dissertation, promotion of academic integrity, and prevention of misconduct, including plagiarism in academic writing among student, faculty, and research staff. So they created a mechanisms. They are providing the detection software. Sometimes they said Turnitin, then they sent Urkund. Now they are sending Drillbit. Whatever software they are sending us to detect the plagiarism, it's been sending to all higher education and institutions to act it. So why not we use it? Otherwise, their punishment is also being being provided under this act. So crabbing the plagiarism, so implementation of technology-based mechanisms. So we have the software. Tell your librarian to check with the software about all the small content piece of work you are doing. It is really very important for everyone to work on it. The student should submit their thesis documentation in original work and free of plagiarism. Undertaking should include the fact that the document has been duly checked through plagiarism detection tool approved by higher education, and the soft copy of that. If it is a thesis, now they are working for the master's also, master's dissertation should be submitted to the INFLAMNET body. So let us rethink again what is plagiarism and how it occurs. You all know that plagiarism is simply copy, cut and paste. But UGC has given a very clear definition under section 2(1) UGC regulation that plagiarism means the practice of taking someone else's work or the idea and passing them as their own work. So basically, plagiarism means to steal and pass off, to use another's work, to commit literary theft, and to present a new and original an idea or product derived from existing source. So plagiarism is an act of fraud. You can say it is an act of fraud, and it involves both stealing and someone else's work, lying about it afterwards. So the UGC said that there is a zero tolerance policy about for the all the work submitted by faculty members, students, staff, researchers, and this about on the plagiarisms, and they come up with lot of disciplinary rules for copying and pasting, and basically the penalties, minimum and maximum penalty they have given. So let us discuss about what is that. So this is what plagiarism talk about: turning someone else's work, we are copying word. So you can't say you are innocent and you did not know what has happened. So everyone is shoutingly telling you, please check your plagiarism, please check your plagiarism, whatever you are writing, please check your plagiarism. And there are various options in the plagiarism tools there that you can quotation mark you can exclude, and many other things which are there you can exclude, and you can use that all filters and check the plagiarism. That is really very important. So similarity check for exclusion from plagiarism: all quote work reproduced within all necessary permissions. So it doesn't mean that you will quote everything, but there are some limitations in the quoting. So that limitation you have to know that how much I can quote. So direct verbatimly, if you're picking up something from the content of someone else, you can quote, and you are saying that you have copied it very clearly, and they give you permission. But there are certain limitation on it. All references are excluded in plagiarism check: bibliography, table of content, preface, acknowledgements. All small similarities of minor nature, all generic terms, laws, standards, symbols, and standard equations are excluded. So, what is the level of plagiarism? People often come to me and say, "Ma'am, how much plagiarism is required?" I said 0. But UGC say that level 0 means similarity up to 10%. They say it's a minor similarity, there is no penalty. Level 1, 10% to 40%, such students shall be asked to submit a revised manuscript within a stipulated time period not exceeding 6 months. Then similarity above 40 to 60%, such students shall be debarred from submitting a revised script for a period of 1 year. And similarity about 60%, such student resignation from that program shall be cancelled. So this is what levels UGC has set for dissertation and thesis. So penalty in case of plagiarism in submission of thesis and dissertation. So it is almost penalty on repeated plagiarism. They have said that if you again once they have sent and they again repeat the plagiarism, then there is one the UGC has come up with this condition also: penalty in case where the degree credit has already been obtained. So it is not like that the plagiarism for the students, but faculty also. If you write any article and you find plagiarized in later stage, then your increment even. Various cases has come. I don't have that much time. Various cases are there where the increment of the teachers has been taken up in the when somebody has say that complaint on the basis of the complaints. So for academic and research publications, the same: 10% minor, 10 to 40% withdraw the manuscript, 40 to 60% shall be asked to withdraw manuscript. Denial of 1 annual increment, and shall not allow to supervise any new masters and PhD students for a period of 2 years. And similarity up to 60%, then shall be asked to withdraw manuscript. So UGC has said that all the academic higher institution create some kind of committees who will look into it. 2 successive annual increment, and shall be not be supervised for new masters PhD for a period of 3 years. This is for that. So there is a penalty for repeated plagiarism, penalty in case where the benefit or credit has already been obtained, and higher education shall create a mechanism to ensure that each of the paper, publication, thesis, dissertation of the student higher education is check of plagiarism at time of submission. So these are the rules you can check. But there's a very thin line between the plagiarism and the copyright infringement. People ask me, so what is the difference between the two? So I say plagiarism is an ethical issue, but if you are plagiarizing in a limitation, it's okay. But if you are plagiarizing beyond limitation and people will go to court to sue you, then it will become a legal issue. So the various cases are there which are related to copyright infringement. Even the Delhi University photocopier case was one of the copyright infringement case which DU has won, but it came in light and various other cases come along. So it's a defined by research misconduct policy governed by the law, defined by many extent to idea, does not extend idea, includes public domain, does not include public domain. No fair use expectations are there. So violation results in loss of reputation, job violation, actually statutory damages of copyright, even the jail. Never expires, copyright expires, and avoid by attribution. Attribution is not defense. That I have copied the whole content and I have given the attribution. So this is the main difference. Even the UGC has come up with the self plagiarism notice. There was various cases where UGC has encountered related to the self plagiarism, which means people are citing their own work in their subsequent work. So UGC, if you do the self plagiarism, you will not get the citation. So to inline the global standard of ethical publishing established by leading institution community ethics, UGC basically draw attention of academic community of reproduction of part of whole's one own previously published work without adequate citation and proper acknowledgement, and claiming the most recent work as a new original for academic advantage, means they call it a text recycling, and it is not acceptable. So text recycling means self-plagiarism. They use the word self-plagiarism, and I would like to share with you that self-plagiarism is not added citation index, H index, and global academia. So it is not worth that you self-cite your previous work related. So self-plagiarism, can you plagiarize your own work? Self-plagiarism occurs when author reuses whole or portion of their previous writing text or data without citation in subsequent research. So text recycling or self-plagiarism is also one of the new problem for the UGC, and they say it redundant publication, segmented publication, and fragmented publication. So here the criteria of redundant publication means the hypothesis is same, but some little bit things are changed. Similar, same sample size. People used do research once and they keep on printing the articles or new pieces of work. So self plagiarism is another concern. So I'll just skip it. Another important aspect what UGC talk about is salami publication. So salami publication means dividing the publication into two portions and publishing in the two places. So basically it talk about least publishing units to smallest publishing unit to minimum publishing unit. So UGC say that salami publication is not acceptable. You cannot do with that. So salami publication refers as a variant of smallest publishing unit strategy. So people do divide the work into two portion and then publish with different names in different places. So how to avoid self-pleasure salami publications is to basically editorial team find it very easily and spot the paper that come in the limelight. Salami publications is where people cover the same population, methods, and questions. So there are various things which are associated with that. Other than that, research misconduct is another important aspect, which basically even the publication misconduct is another aspect of research ethics and writing. So publication misconduct basically talk about fabrication, falsification, plagiarism, inappropriate authorship, duplicate submission, overlapping publications, and salami publications. So these are some of the publication misconduct. UGC has clearly said in even the COPE, the guidelines of publishing talk about it. And they are very serious about this, the fabrications of the issue. So what is fabrication? Fabrication, we can say, means creating a non-existing data and result and an act of recording and repeating them. So the people generally fabricate and create the data by themselves, which is not, they have not done any research and they create the data by themselves and represent. Falsification means the manipulation of research material, equipped or process or omitted data and result so that the result is not accurately represented. And plagiarism, we all know. So these three words, fabrication, falsification, plagiarisms, are covered under the research misconduct, which is again a concern. Then other important factor which is being highlighted is the data falsification. Cherry picking. Cherry picking occurs when only certain data points are selected or highlighted to support a particular conclusion, while other data points are ignored or de-emphasized. So this can lead to the bias or incomplete picture of overall data. Data manipulation is very much, it's a big problem for the publishers. It occurs only when the certain data is manipulated and just in a way that alter the conclusions. So people generally alter the conclusion, divert the conclusion accordingly they want the answer. Then another is data omission is also considered. So it is really very important to ensure transparency, avoid cherry picking, use appropriate standard method, verify data, ethical standards, acknowledge limitations. So I'll not go deep into it. It is again will take a lot of. So publication ethic, if we'll talk about publication ethics principles, research should be designed, reviewed and undertaken to ensure integrity and quality. Authorship, data management, honesty. So these are important ethical issues in data management process is ethical and truthful, ownership and retention of data and sharing access. So we should avoid plagiarism, use anti-plagiarism tools, cite the content from where which we have done. Acknowledging is important. Avoid self-plagiarism. Get rid of predatory publications. Try to find out what are predatory, what are not. Avoid to putting slimy publication. Avoid falsification, fabrication, and misrepresentation. So the simple succession mantra is keep track of information, know how to paraphrase, proofread, and use plagiarism checker. And in conclusion, I can rather say research ethics considered to be the codified of morality, use, norms, institutional arrangements. Research activities in practice. It is important to constitute internal, external research ethical norms, and universities and academic institutions has a statutory responsibility for ensuring that research, education, and academic development are of high quality and should conduct in an accordance with recognized scientific, pedagogical, and ethical principles. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for such a nice and meaningful presentation. Thank you, ma'am. I request to all the participants, if you have any query, any question, please ask to Dr. Priya Rai. Also, you have to unmute of yourself. Any query, any question for the participant side?
If you have any questions, even afterwards, when you are doing your research, I will love to answer your questions. So my email is priyarai@nludelhi.ac.in.
Yes,
So if
yes,
you do
ma'am.
not,
Yes,
if you do not
yes, ma'am.
find
Yes.
any question right now, you can email me. I'll be sitting at NLU Delhi. If you have any legal questions also related to your research and publications, if you stuck somewhere, please don't be hesitant to call me and come to me or email me. Or you can take my details with Dr. Deepa.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
if you
Thank you,
ma'am.
thank you so
Now
much.
thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to take a minute for thanks to all of them. It is an honor to have this opportunity to express my great gratitude to all dignitaries who are present here. I am thankful to the respected participants of the webinar for their presence and efforts in making this event a success. I express my gratitude to today's speaker, Dr. Priya ma'am. Thank you, ma'am,
Thank
who
you.
shared her valuable knowledge with all of us. I personally liked, ma'am, you highlighted importance of research ethics and why and what is important research ethics in our research. And you highlighted what is plagiarism and what about publication. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for such a meaningful presentation.
Thank you
And
so
I
much.
am also grateful to Professor Swan Singh sir, who is the coordinator of IQAC, for their support and coordination in organizing this webinar. I extended my gratitude to Dr. Nimisha Sinha, ma'am, who is co-coordinator IQAC Criteria 4, and our library committee convener, Professor Namrita Bhattacharya ji, for giving their valuable time and also suggesting their important opinion. This event would have been successful without the library team and ICT team. I must thank to Mr. Naveen ji and all the library team members for working hard for the past few days to make this webinar successful. It's been a great day. Thank you everyone once again for making it great success. Thank you for blessing with your presence. Thank you. Thank you all of them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.